One bridge folds into a circle, another floats nearly 4,000 meters above the Alps, and deep in the jungle, one is still growing, made from living tree roots. These aren't your average bridges. They look impossible, but they're real and they work. So how do these surreal structures actually come to life? Let's start with the one that slithers through downtown Chicago like a ribbon of steel and hides a few clever secrets beneath the surface. At first glance, this could pass for a sculpture, but it's a fully functional bridge. Spanning Columbus Drive in downtown Chicago, the BP pedestrian bridge connects Millennium Park to Maggie Daley Park with a design that feels more fluid than fixed. Designed by Frank Gehry, the bridge opened in 2004 and immediately stood out. It bends like a ribbon, a metallic wave that cuts through the city's straight lines. Its surface is clad in over 9,000 stainless steel plates, catching light at different angles and giving it a scaled, almost organic look. But beneath that shine, the structure is grounded in serious engineering. A hidden box girder supports the curves, resting on a solid concrete base. The wooden deck, made from sustainably sourced Brazilian hardwood, adds warmth to the design and durability under foot traffic. What's more, the bridge has a gentle 5% slope, making it fully accessible. And here's the twist, it doubles as an acoustic barrier. That flowing form, it's not just visual flair, it deflects noise from the busy road below, so your walk between parks feels a little more like a quiet escape. But if you think a snake one is impressive, wait till you see the next one. Cirkelbroen, right in the heart of Copenhagen, stretches across the Christianshavn Canal, linking Christiansbro to Appelbeesplatz. This bridge doesn't follow the usual rules. Designed by world-renowned artist Olafur Eliasson, it features 5 circular platforms, each topped with a tall mast. These platforms vary in size and are staggered in a way that creates a gentle zigzag across the canal, making people slow down as they walk. The masts and circular forms are a nod to Copenhagen's maritime roots, resembling ships moored at the dock and bridging the city's past and present. Blending aesthetics with purpose, the bridge is both an artwork and a functional structure. It spans 39 meters with a clearance of 2.25 meters for boats. A key feature is the swing section that rotates open to let larger vessels through. Built from steel and cables, Cirkelbroen has a clean, modern look. The lighting is cleverly integrated, syncing with the city's streetlights to keep the bridge visually in tune with its surroundings. Now let's talk about the Gateshead Millennium Bridge in Tyneside, UK. This sleek structure links the cultural hotspot of Gateshead with Newcastle's buzzing quayside. But it does more than just connect two places. It tilts, literally. Nicknamed the Blinking Eye Bridge because it moves like an eyelid, this pedestrian and cyclist bridge is the only one in the world that tilts as a whole unit. One steel arch forms the pathway, and the other acts as a support. When river traffic needs to pass, the entire bridge pivots, pathway up, arch down. It's smooth, it's slick, and it takes just 4 minutes. Powered by 6 hydraulic rams, the tilt system is surprisingly energy efficient. And it's not just a showpiece. It actually helps clean the bridge by brushing debris into traps as it moves. Structurally, it's all steel and concrete held together by tension cables that keep everything stable. At night, a clever lighting setup brings it to life with color changes on weekends and a soft glow that's bright enough to impress, but subtle enough to avoid light pollution. Next up, we're in Leeuwarden, Netherlands, where the Slauerhofbrug, famously nicknamed the Flying Drawbridge, steals the spotlight. This isn't your standard bascule bridge. Instead of tilting from one end, the whole road section lifts straight into the air to let boats pass underneath. Right in the middle of Leeuwarden, it spans the Harlinger Vaart River with a design that's anything but ordinary. While most nearby bridges rely on old-school hinge systems, this one breaks the mold with a distinctive tail bridge mechanism. Basically, a chunk of road about 2,500 square feet in size gets lifted vertically by a massive metal arm. Once the boat glides through, the road piece drops neatly back into place. The whole process runs on 2 hydraulic cylinders tucked inside a giant pylon, letting the bridge operate up to 10 times a day without breaking a sweat. Built from iron and steel, it's a tough, high-functioning piece of engineering, but it doesn't stop at function. Leeuwarden's city flag colours, yellow and blue, are boldly splashed across the lifting arm, turning a piece of industrial design into a striking civic symbol. The Rolling Bridge in London sits quietly in Paddington Basin just south of Little Venice. At first, it looks like a regular pedestrian bridge, nothing flashy. Stretching 12 meters across the canal, this bridge doesn't lift or tilt, it curls. Instead of clunky mechanical movements, it folds in a smooth, almost hypnotic motion. That's thanks to hydraulic rams and a clever system of joints working together under the surface. The bridge is made up of 8 steel sections with dark timbered decking that gives it a softer, warmer look. Here's how it works. Hydraulic rams push up the joints in the handrails, which lift the steel sections all at once. As they rise, the whole bridge curves inward until the two ends meet in a perfect ring. Deep in China's Xinjiang province, in the stunning Shanxianju Valley, there's a footbridge that looks like something out of a dream, the Ruyi Bridge. Sitting 140 meters above the ground and stretching 100 meters across, it's not just a way to get from one cliff to another, it's a full-on spectacle. The glass bottom gives you a clear drop into the valley below, blurring the line between earth and sky. What really makes it stand out, though, is the design. It's got 3 winding paths that loop and twist around each other, forming a shape inspired by the traditional jade ruyi, a Chinese symbol of good fortune. The whole thing looks like a ribbon frozen mid-sway, perfectly echoing the curves of the surrounding landscape. Structurally, it's a beast. Built with steel and layered glass, the bridge combines strength with just the right amount of thrill. You've got perforated iron plates on top and transparent glass below, so every step feels like you're walking on air, safely, of course. And it's not just pretty. The mastermind behind it is He Yun Chang, the engineer who helped create Beijing's iconic Bird's Nest Stadium. At first glance, it looks like a roller coaster, but it's Singapore's highest pedestrian bridge, Henderson Waves. Opened in 2008, it spans 274 meters across Henderson Road, linking Mount Faber and Telok Blangah Hill as part of the Southern Ridges Trail. With 7 undulating curves of steel and wood, the bridge mimics ocean waves. The tallest wave, 6 meters high, hides cozy alcoves for rest and views. These curves serve as shade, seating, and shelter. Supported by 38-meter-tall pylons and reinforced with steel arches, it's built from yellow Balau hardwood, shaped with over 5,000 precisely cut slats. By night, subtle LEDs give it a lantern-like glow. More than a walkway, Henderson Waves connects nature, invites pause, highlights local craftsmanship, and stands as a striking architectural piece in the sky. In 2011, a massive development project in Rotterdam collapsed. The area was left stalled, offices empty, streets disconnected, momentum lost. Most cities would have waited for investors. Rotterdam didn't. Instead, it built a bridge. The Luchtsingle is 400 meters of bright yellow timber slicing through the sky. It links 3 neglected districts that hadn't been connected in decades. But what makes it truly unusual? It was crowdfunded. Not in theory, in practice. Over 8,000 people paid to have their names etched onto the planks that now hold the structure together. Designed by the architecture firm Zus, the bridge uses untreated Douglas fir approved by the Forest Stewardship Council. That material choice matters. In a city of steel and glass, the wood adds warmth. But the Luchtsingle wasn't just built to move pedestrians. It was built to restart a district. Since it opened, the surrounding area has changed fast. Vacant rooftops became parks. Dead office blocks turned into public gardens, art spaces, and event venues. The bridge is what tied it all together. Here's what most people miss. The entire design is modular. It can be dismantled and relocated if needed. The project was part of a broader movement called I Make Rotterdam. It turned a stalled city plan into a public mission. Awards followed, so did global attention. But the legacy isn't in the accolades. It's in the shift from passive infrastructure to public authorship. High above the French Alps, there's a bridge so exposed it doesn't need to be long to be terrifying. At nearly 3,842 meters up, Aiguille du Midi is part of the Mont Blanc Massif in the French Alps near Chamonix. It's accessible via one of the steepest cable cars on Earth, a vertical leap from 1,035 meters to 3,842, all in about 20 minutes. The bridge connects the upper station to a panoramic terrace and exhibition areas, but that's not what made it famous. Just off the bridge is Step into the Void, a 5-sided glass cube hanging over a 50-meter drop. Floor, walls, everything is transparent. The glass box is made from triple-layered panels, 12 millimeters thick each, tested for winds up to 220 kilometers per hour and temperatures that can drop below minus 30 degrees Celsius. And the cable car, built in 1955, still holds the world record for the highest vertical ascent without support pillars on the top section. That upper half, completely free-hanging. In short, this place was designed to scare you safely. In the rainiest place on Earth, there's a bridge that's not built, it's grown. The double-decker Living Root Bridge is hidden deep in the jungles near Nongriat village, not far from Cherrapunji, India. There's no roads, no shortcuts, just a grueling hike, 3,500 to 6,500 stone steps through humid forest and steep gorges. It takes hours, but what do you find at the bottom? Worth every drop of sweat. This is one of the only 2-tiered living bridges in the world. It was coaxed into being by guiding the roots of rubber fig trees across a stream. The reason? The original bridge couldn't survive the monsoon floods. Locals didn't replace it with concrete. They doubled down on nature. It takes 2 decades just to form. Bamboo scaffolds train the roots, gravity and patience do the rest. Once it sets, it holds, up to 50 people at once. The roots thicken over time, turning stronger with each rainy season. Some of these bridges lasted over 500 years, growing sturdier long after their builders are gone. The bridge isn't alone. Natural pools nearby are filled with fish that give you a foot massage, whether you want one or not. Waterfalls crash around you. Over time, the roots thicken, moss grows in, and the bridge vanishes into the jungle, almost like it was never built at all. Whether it's a glass path dangling off a mountain or a wooden span stitched together by the crowd that walks it, each one flips the script on what a bridge should be. A bridge connects 2 places, but these ones connect imagination to reality, one wild idea at a time. Each of these bridges bends the rules, not just of engineering, but of imagination. Some were built to reconnect a city, others to challenge gravity. And a few weren't built at all. They were grown. If one of these designs surprised you, tell us which one in the comments. And if you enjoyed, make sure to like and share with others, and subscribe for more stories about structures that push the limits of what's possible.